Rome, the heart of the Republic. Strong walls, proud legions, unshaken confidence. But what if this city, said to be untouchable, suddenly faced its greatest nightmare? Hannibal Barca, standing at its gates. History tells us Hannibal never attacked Rome. He lacked siege equipment, reinforcements from Carthage, and risked being trapped deep in enemy territory. But in fiction, in our Rome 2 simulation, Hannibal days the impossible, a direct siege of Rome. How would he get his siege equipment? Perhaps timber from the Italian countryside could be fashioned into ladders and rams within days, and captured Roman engineers might be forced to build some small ballistae. Not enough to storm Rome like Alexander at Tyre, but enough to make the Senate tremble. Hannibal's plan is set. He divides his forces to strike Rome from two sides. On one flank, led personally by Hannibal, his veterans surge forward. The other flank, commanded by Hanno the Great, Hannibal's cousin, faces a far tougher challenge. As his troops advance, the Romans sally forth in a desperate counterattack. A cavalry charge crashes spectacularly against Hannibal's men. The Roman cavalry surges out, not to break Hanno's line, but to buy time, to smash the siege ladders before they reach the walls. The charge fails, yet it delays the advance just long enough. Reinforcements, Ryri and a few Hastati, rush onto the bridge. Their sudden arrival blocks Hanno's path to the city, forcing his men to abandon the ladders. Instead of storming the walls, they are now trapped in a brutal fight over the bridge, the outcome hanging by a thread. Hanno knows, if he cannot win the fight at the bridge quickly, his men will never reach the walls. And without them, Hannibal's assault on the opposite flank may fail. With no time to waste, he orders his troops forward, but the Romans press hard, determined to pin Hanno at the foot of the bridge. The struggle rages on at the bridge, every inch paid for input. But on the opposite flank, where Hannibal commands in person, light Iberian troops begin scaling the mighty walls of Rome. Waiting for them at the top are the Rurii, Rome's least experienced soldiers, facing their greatest trial. Holding the bridge may be the only chance for the Romans to slow Hanno's advance. But the fate of Rome also hangs on another front, the city walls. Will they hold, or crumble under Hannibal's assault? The worst has happened. One of the Rurii defending the wall falters and retreats. Carthage gains the upper hand on the gate, unless Rome can respond in time. the gates to Rome may be lost. The entire Roman defensive line at the gate gives way. The city gate is lost, and Carthage begins to pour into Rome, as if the situation couldn't get any worse. Hanno finally secures victory at the bridge, and his towering siege ladders are now advancing toward yet another gate of Rome. At least, his ballistae might be running out of ammo. Roman General Marcus Fabius Maximus takes command, sealing off the streets with his elite reserves, Principes and Triarii, veterans of the legions that faced Hannibal before, and men who know the way to defend Rome. Hannibal positions his troops against those of Maximus. The difference: Carthage warriors are riding a surge of morale, fresh from their victories, while the Romans brace themselves, veterans of countless battles, knowing that today could decide the fate of the Republic. You may wonder, has Rome bought enough time to strengthen its walls from Hanno and to hold back Hannibal, who is already inside the city? To find out, you'll have to keep watching. For the Carthaginians, everything now depends on Hanno. Can he still seize the walls? And for Rome, it also comes down to Hanno. Can they stop him before the city falls? To break the Roman chokeholds in the streets, Hannibal unleashes relentless cycle charges, his cavalry striking, retreating, and striking again, wearing down the defenders with every pass. The first siege tower reaches the wall, but not at the gate. Hanno makes his move, choosing to scale the far right flank, where Roman defenses are thin. His plan is clear: outflank the defenders at the gate and crush Rome from the side. And while the Romans struggle to hold their flank against Hanno's assault, a second siege ladder rumbles forward, closing in on the walls, bringing even greater danger to the defenders. Hanno's plan works. His men shatter the Roman flank, and now the gate is under assault from two sides. The defenders, already stretched thin, are caught in a deadly vice. Hanno captures the gate, a triumph for Carthage. Yet something feels wrong. General Maximus does not react. It is as if he wanted Hanno to take the walls, as though the true Roman plan is only now about to unfold. As Hanno's officers struggle to reorganize their troops atop the walls, hundreds of Roman javelins rain down upon them. Carthaginians fall on every side, chaos erupting across the battlements. Hanno's entire force withdraws, shattered by staggering losses. And when Hannibal hears that half of his original army is in retreat, he sees the Romans charging straight at his defensive position. The tide of battle is about to turn. Hannibal leaves behind the troops already locked in combat with the Romans, a final sacrifice to mask his retreat. His goal: save the remnants of his army, and live to fight another day. His last remaining troops fight with remarkable bravery, holding the Romans off long enough to allow the rest of Hannibal's army to retreat. What do you think would have happened after this battle? Would Rome have survived, or could Hannibal have triumphed in a later battle? Or maybe, do you think Hannibal would have won the siege? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.